No enemies, no weapons, no instructions. Just a ticking timer, a floating maze, and a marble that never stops moving. Marble Madness didn't look like other games. It didn't sound like other games, and it definitely didn't play like other games. Today on Classic Pixels Gaming, we're diving headfirst into Marble Madness on the NES. Its arcade origins, the genius who designed it, the nightmare of porting it to a D-pad, and why it still feels unsettling nearly 40 years later. Marble Madness first rolled into arcades in 1984, developed by Atari Games during a period when arcade developers were aggressively experimenting with hardware. This was an era of custom cabinets, specialized controls, and games built around physical input, and Marble Madness leaned all the way in. Instead of a joystick, the arcade cabinet used a trackball, giving players smooth analog control over momentum, something almost unheard of at the time. The game wasn't about reflexes alone. It was about physics, balance, and panic. Marble Madness was designed by Mark Cerny when he was only 18 years old. Yes, 18. Despite his age, he designed the game's core mechanics, shaped its surreal visual style, and helped define its physics-based gameplay. He would later go on to play key roles in developing games like Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, and the PlayStation hardware architecture. Marble Madness wasn't just his breakout hit, it was proof that game feel mattered as much as graphics or story. Everything about Marble Madness feels off. The camera angle is tilted, the world floats in empty space, and the soundtrack is sparse and unsettling. That wasn't accidental. The game was designed to create unease, making players feel slightly disoriented at all times. Even the colors shift between levels to mess with your perception of depth. And then there's the timer. There are no enemies chasing you, just time slowly strangling each and every mistake. Then came the Nintendo Entertainment System, and this is where Marble Madness faced its greatest enemy. The Nintendo controller had only a digital D-pad. There was no analog input, and replicating the precision of the trackball was impossible. The result was a version that looked like Marble Madness, but felt completely different. The NES port increased difficulty dramatically, reduced player control precision, and required memorization over finesse. It wasn't bad, but it was unforgiving. Players weren't fighting the maze anymore, they were fighting the controller. Arcade Marble Madness was a massive hit, and it was praised for its innovation, unique controls, and unmatched tension. The NES version? More mixed. It sold respectably, boosted by arcade recognition, but reviews often criticized its control limitations and the frustrating difficulty spikes. Still, it became a staple rental, a game people talked about even if they rarely beat it. Marble Madness wasn't just a game, it was an experiment. It proved that physics-based gameplay could be fun and that controls will define experience. It also proved that games could be abstract and still be successful. You can see its DNA in games like Super Monkey Ball, modern physics puzzlers, and indie games obsessed with feel. It wasn't flashy, it wasn't forgiving, but it was pure design and always fun. Marble Madness on NES is flawed, frustrating, and occasionally cruel. But it's also one of the boldest games of its era. A reminder that sometimes, the most memorable games are the ones that refuse to meet you halfway. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive on one of the most frustrating NES games ever made, Marble Madness. If you liked this video, please hit us with a like and subscribe to Classic Pixels Gaming for more, and feel free to drop us your Marble Madness memories in the comments. Until next time, thanks for watching Classic Pixels Gaming.